Welcome everyone to WitchyCatLady's Tales by Fireside. The Death Coach. The Death Coach, or Coach de Bower, is folklore from much of Europe, especially Ireland. It is driven by the Dullahan, or Headless Horseman. It is said that the Death Coach works with the Banshees to collect souls of the dead and dying. There are many stories, many encounters of the Death Coach. I will recount one that I remember from my childhood. There was a man living in Ireland. He was very well off and had a lovely home. He had a family and many friends. Things were going very well for him. One night, when he was sitting in his home reading a book by fireside, he heard what sounded like hooves coming up the dirt road by his house. Who would be here at this hour, he thought. It was the middle of the night. There should be no one out, unless there was an emergency. The man got up and went to the window near the door. He didn't see anything. He figured someone must be just lost, driving by. He thought nothing more of it and went to bed. The next day he told his story to his friends, who warned him of the Death Coach. They told stories of their grandparents, friends, cousins, who all heard the Death Coach days before their own death. It's but a silly story, the man thought, and thought nothing more of it. He didn't believe in such things. The next night, he was laying in bed when he heard the hooves again. Click, clop, click, clop, click, clop, click, clop. And then nothing. He went to the window, and there is when he saw it. This wooden stagecoach. But not quite a stagecoach, sitting in front of his house. It was dark, almost black. Instead of doors on the side, it had a door in the back, open wide. There were windows, but bars were across the windows. He could see a figure up front, but couldn't make it out. It was driven by what appeared to be 4 horses, black as pitch. The man went to the door and opened the door. He called out, "Hello, can I help you?" The figure driving the coach did not turn, did not respond. The man began to walk forward, and that's when he heard, "Oh, oh." It grew louder. The man grew afraid and ran into the house. Then he heard the clip-clopping again, going off into the distance. Again the next day, the man told the story to the local villagers, who warned him yet again of the Coach de Bower, the Death Coach, driven by a headless horseman. Dullahan, some called it. The man was like, no way, y'all are playing a trick on me. This isn't real." But the locals continued to warn him, do not go outside. Do not go out at night. Do not go out if you hear it or see it. Stay out of its way. Let it go where it needs to go. "Alright, fine," the man said. The man was curious. That night he sat up by the fire, waiting to hear the sounds. He was not disappointed. Click, clop, click, clop, click, clop, click, clop. And it stopped, right outside his house. The man was getting very annoyed at this point. He knew someone was playing a trick on him. He went out to go investigate, and demanded that the driver speak to him. "Sir or ma'am, who are you and what are you doing here?" He walked to the front of the coach and stopped. There, driving the vehicle. There, driving the coach, was what appeared to be a headless horseman. The man couldn't believe it. The figure was wearing dark pants, a dark coat. There was a hat, but it appeared to be resting on the coat. The man could not make out a face. Must be a good costume, the man thought. They're really trying to play this trick on me. The man looked at the horses, who never moved, never flickered a tail, stood still as statues. Well trained, he thought. He walked around the back of the coach. Again, the door was wide open. The man stepped on the back step to look into it better. And that's when he heard, "Ah!" growing louder and louder. "Ah! Who is behind me?" He turned to look, and he froze in fear. He saw it coming out of the woods, an enormous white ghost with a woman's face, barreling towards him faster and faster like the wind. "Ah!" The man tripped and stumbled into the coach. The door slammed shut, and the coach began to drive off. Clip-clop, clip-clop, clip-clop. The man panicked and tried to get out, but the door was sealed shut. He screamed for help, but no one came. The next morning, his friends never saw him. They went to the house to see what had happened, and there was the man, laying in the dirt road. Cold and dead. There were no hoof prints. There were no wheel tracks. So did the man imagine it right before his death? Or is the banshee and death coach real? That's where this story ends. I'll see you in another video.